Welcome to Unnecessary Roughness. It is July 28th. It's almost August, boys. College football podcast, Barstool Sports. We've got the whole crew here. And, of course, the boys over there drinking twisted tea. Drinking the good old twisted tea. They got fist bumps going on. Brandon, what flavor you got over there?
Well, I have, like I said, we have a producer who knows what he's doing, so he makes sure I have the peach every week now. So I have a cold peach in my hand. And I'd like to go ahead and give him credit for that, too, because I've had producers in the past on shows that'll give you the drink, and they wouldn't have had the foresight to put it in the fridge. But Lukey has it ice cold for us.
And T-Bob, I think you have the raspberry, I was told.
That's correct. See, that was a raspberry. You know, like that's what I called them. Is that what y'all call them?
I thought a raspberry was when you slid in baseball. You got to that's a strawberry.
We call it a strawberry.
That's a strawberry.
Yeah, we call that a
Raspberry is where
strawberry.
you blow on the stomach, right?
Yeah. Or just maybe
Okay.
Yeah, you're right. That's raspberry. Either way.
Well, me and T-Bob are getting ready for mostly sports in the morning. I lift his shirt up and I just give him a raspberry.
It makes me giggle every time.
It's very cute of the two of you.
Once the tummy tickles, and I sometimes I just rub my beard back and forth. That's
a very tasty raspberry twee.
I don't like when you talk about things like that, Brandon. It upsets me.
You're just jealous.
That is true. I'm very, very
I don't
jealous.
know. I actually like how his beard tickles my belly. I liked it when he did it without a beard. It didn't feel nearly as good.
Well, he should never not have a beard. I tell him this. He looks so good with a beard.
I haven't gotten rid of the beard in 2 years now.
No, I know. The beard looks great on you, and the salt and pepper looks great, and the twisted tea in your hand. It makes your hand look so big, Brandon. There it is. I know you're married. Grab a refreshing twisted tea today. They are the official sponsor of Unnecessary Roughness. We're getting close. About a month away now. Getting so close. Week 0 is less than a month away, which is huge. And then obviously the big weekend, August 30th. So we're going to get into a lot of news. Obviously, the big one today, everybody was kind of waiting on pins and needles, I would say, in the college football world to see exactly what it was going to be. Deion Sanders had his press conference today. He's been out of the spotlight for a few months. There's been a lot of rumors about what's going on. You know, his sons have made references to him not being fully healthy. The only time we've seen him in public was at the Big 12 Media Days, and he did not answer questions about his health. If you're a college football fan, you've seen this news already, but he had cancer. They found a tumor in his bladder. They gave him multiple options, one of them being to just completely remove the bladder. So he had his bladder removed. He was peeing in a bag. There was a lot of details about that from his doctors in the press conference. And now he has a man-made bladder.
Yeah.
He's going to have to be, and he made jokes about it, but there's going to be, you can't go very far from a bathroom. He's got porta potties on the sidelines, porta potties at practice. He mentioned, he has to wake up in the morning and see if he's leaked, all the different details. But at the end of the day, the big takeaway is, one, he is cancer-free. He will continue to coach. So he beat cancer. And also he was very, very adamant that everyone should get checked for this, because this is something that he would have had no idea he had. And so just a great testimony and story today, guys, because I'll be honest, I knew he was dealing with health issues, and going into this press conference, I think the whole world was kind of waiting to see, is he still coaching or not? That was going to be the big thing. And so the news coming out of this was obviously the best news you could get.
No, it's absolutely fantastic. And listen, anytime you hear on Friday or Saturday that a coach, or really anybody, a player or a coach, is going to have a press conference first thing Monday morning with his medical staff, naturally you fear the worst. You fear you fear what might be something causing him to step down. And I am a little ashamed of college football populace and fan base and the Twitter sphere of how I think they were going to react if he had stepped down. It was going to be a lot more bizarre than just, oh my God, praying for Deion to beat this thing. But luckily, we're not there. And luckily, I feel like he was in good spirits about it, and he will continue to coach, and he'll fight through this thing. He's cancer-free, so this is when you find out on Friday somebody's going to have a press conference on Monday with their medical staff, fears build up, thoughts build up, and ultimately none of those were realized. Certainly he's gone through a battle here, and he's come out the other side, and it's not something that is currently – it's good. It's good news.
It is on the whole good news. I think we could talk about it from like a football perspective, but – I think my bigger takeaways were two things. First off, as Kayce alluded to there, I love how Deion is leaning into and being very honest about what his new life situation is like, right? Basically alluding to the fact that, look, there are a lot of people going through this, and maybe they've had some of their bladder, they have new bladders, and now they too cannot control their bladders. And yeah, it's a thing that you kind of probably your instinct is to hide it and to kind of deal with it privately. And then Deion's up here making jokes about now, like, I now depend on Depends.
Yeah.
And like that's first off, that's a good fucking joke. But secondly, he is owning this, he's wrapping himself, and so he now becomes a kind of inspiration and a guiding light for anybody else dealing with these health issues. It's like this sounds really fucking dumb, but it's like in Billy Madison. When Billy pisses his pants to make the other kids feel better, he's like, "Oh, beat your pants, cool. Call me Miles Davis." Like, hey, if Deion, takes the help out the kid controls bladder, it's okay for you too, because he's cool as fuck, and you can be cool as fuck as well. So I thought that was great. And then the other part that I really took away from this was, I mean, he has now had 14 surgeries, he said, since 2021, obviously because of the vascular foot issues,
right,
which is the whole reason they discovered this in the first place. And so I think it would have been real easy to fall into the woe is me trap. Why is all this helping me, happening to me? And what did he say? He said, I've never said, God, why me? Because then he'd have to say, God, why you, right? Like, why are you doing this to me? Basically, when he says, look, my life's incredible. Right? I've got great family. I'm supremely blessed. I've had an incredible career. I get to coach at this amazing school. And as someone who, one of the core guiding tenets of my life is trying to just really feel gratitude and lean into gratitude. I think it makes you work harder. I think it makes you just kind of a better person, or maybe a better quality of life overall. To hear him basically speak on this theme of gratitude, despite all of this extreme adversity, I thought just came away as not just like likable, but encouraging, and just really kind of a great life lesson for anybody going through some shit out there. So shout out Coach Prime. Love that he's cancer free. Love that he's coaching football, and absolutely love the message that he sent out there today.
I agree. And he said, which is crazy to think, that, he's had more surgeries since 2021 than he had his entire athletic career, which is just wild to put in perspective. But, I really liked, and I know a lot of people have a lot of things to say about when he talks about his faith and talks about God and talks about what he leans on, and he leaning into that even. He was like, hey, I know a lot of people have issues when I talk about this, but if I'm going to talk about God, I'm going to talk about it now because I could have lost my life. And it was true Deion form, right? It was like, when the guy asked him, like, what did you think when you were in the face of death? He was like, I was never in the face of death. What do you mean? I was in the face of life. Like, I'm chosen by God. So Deion, so perfectly Deion, but you listen to it in a different type of way when you know that it's not just him talking about, rolling out a different type of offense or rolling out, some crazy media thing. It's like, this was his life. And Brandon, you're 100% right. That saying you're going to be sitting there with your two doctors and on Monday for a press conference, you think the worst, but at the end of the day, this is all past him. But the fact that he even had to have this press conference because of all the speculation and all the, is he really retiring? Is he not? Like, that just kind of speaks on his impact of the sport in general, but a positive message and obviously positive news for the Sanders family and for Colorado.
He also, this is some great gallows humor. He was talking about having to get his will in order, and he once again started ranking his kids because he was like basically talking about like, okay, well, how do I split up the empire? Well, okay, Shiloh's been doing this, and well, I don't know, my daughter moved away, so maybe she now gets a little less. I'm not. I have 3. I'm not to the point where I've ranked my kids yet. Brandon, you have 4. They're older age. Do you ever rank your children? Do you have a power ranking?
Yeah, the committee meets once a quarter, and we have the rankings, and I have an electronic scoreboard on my refrigerator. And
everybody wants to know where they stand. As a player,
the daughter's number one forever.
I was about to say she has to be number one at all times.
Yeah, the daughter's number one at all times. Once you have the girl, of course you got 2 girls. So
yeah, I got 2 girls and a little boy. And to be fair, the Quad Bob's on the shit list.
Yeah, right.
He's a little stupid fuck. He's 2 years old. He just runs around and just like breaks shit constantly.
He showed up after 2 girls. He's fighting from behind.
Yeah.
It's going to be a long uphill climb for him.
Yeah. He'll be bottom of the power ranking.
That's why, listen, I know you just have one and you don't have to deal with it. That's
true. You don't have a power rank. You're good to go. You got your MVP.
he's 2.5 now, but I guess if I don't like him, then I'm really screwed because he's gonna get the will anyways. But I do agree that it was just true prime Deion. It really was. Like, it was everything about that press conference. And then obviously I thought the doctors handled it really well, but good news from them. Moving forward to, I know the news broke. It came across the desk of Liam Blutman last episode, but now we have more details, more coaches weighing in. Liam, the Trump executive order that is saving college sports, which I still laugh that the White House said, Donald J. Trump saves college sports. But we have more details on what that's going to look like. Essentially, it's trying to put a stop to amateurism coming completely professionalism. Obviously there's a lot of things with NIL. But Blutman, I'll start with you because you see a lot of reactions on social media. Like, we all know that you're not going to be able to stop players getting paid. We know that. But what Trump seems to think he's going to be able to do in the long term is to protect Title IX in Olympic sports, be able to have more ramifications around certain things and kind of slow down the chaos. The biggest thing that I took away from it, though, from what it seems like, is that he's going to have the government agencies basically step in and define exactly what this profession is for these college athletes. And I think that is a huge thing, because are they pro athletes? Are they completely amateurs? That to me seems like the biggest takeaway, is that he's going to put an actual title to this.
Yeah, I think what Donald Trump and the government agencies are going to find out is that the president of the United States cannot put his true stamp on college football and swerve this sport from what it is.
Yeah.
Like, this ain't doing nothing.
Yeah, I kind of agree, dude.
This is let me get my face out there and get some votes next election or something. I don't know politics. He's just trying to save face, in my opinion. This is nothing.
Yeah, no, it's really, maybe as you allude to, Kayce, the protecting of the Olympic sports could potentially be the biggest takeaway here, but really it doesn't offer any clarity on the employee status, right? Will they be employees? Will they not? Will they organize? Will there be a CBA? It encourages lawmakers to clarify that relationship, but there's nothing final here. And then look, it all comes back to, because it says that they want to find ways to hand the rulemaking power back to the NCAA. Well, that way is to give them an antitrust exemption. And this is not that. I don't know if an executive order cannot accomplish that. I do know that Congress could. So that would be like, if the NCAA wants to win in a court of law again, getting that antitrust exemption is going to be the cornerstone that will be built on. This does not give that. It can encourage it. I don't think it will give that. And the other thing is, there is a massive cottage industry that wants to shut this down, right? All the players, all their lawyers, everybody who is making money on the Wild West of NIL right now, which is a lot of very powerful people, are do not want this interference. So yeah, kind of I think final word for now is that it's a bit of a nothing burger.
Brandon?
Yeah, it is a nothing burger, but that's when I find Trump to be at his most entertaining. I love cocky, self-assured Trump, who believes he has saved college football even if he's done nothing. So I, for one, think we should let him continue believing he saved college football.
It's got kind of the same energy as the victory banner behind
Correct.
President Bush back in the day. Maybe declared it a bit early.
I don't know if it's going to have an effect long term, and I'm sure it probably won't or whatever. It's hard to take what college football is these days and put it in a bottle, seal the bottle, and say, all right, well, it's fixed. But I do want Trump thinking that he has done it, because I like cocky, self-assured Trump who just thinks, college football, yeah, I fixed it. I want that guy. I want him to think he fixed it. There, done.
He and like, when you really dive into it and like how just sure of himself and sure of the White House of Trump they are, when he says, the government agencies, they're going to have to step aside and we're going to know the employment status, and it bans pay for play, but some endorsements and sponsorships from third parties will be allowed. It's like, guy, none of this is going to happen. But if there is going to be an impact, maybe long term, I do find it interesting though, because Nick Saban, and obviously Nick Saban's not going to come out and be like, this is really fucking stupid. But Nick Saban, who now that he's out of it, he is saying, and Brandon, I want your take on this, because I know, how you feel about the way the SEC used to do things. But he said this is a huge step, because this is going to kind of put, as in one of your terms, put the toothpaste a little bit back in the tube. And Nick Saban's all for it. And it's like, well, Nick,
shit.
but you were doing it under the table the whole time anyways, sir.
I never want to hear about Nick Saban's thoughts about paying players. I don't ever care. Man made a living stacking his rosters, and I just don't know how you can say he did it the right way at all times. So
here's the deal, though. This is where I don't even think, if you want to prove the disconnect of Saban and why he's a bad messenger for this, you don't even have to engage with him paying players.
Yeah.
Because he's always calling back to, I want this even playing field. I want this even playing field. Let's just look at money spent on the program legally, not illegal money. Are you telling me that, like, you and fucking Bowling Green were operating with the same athletic budget? Like, it was never an even playing field. Again, without even getting into legal stuff, rumor, it was never an even playing field. If anything, this is a much more democratized, even version than what it used to be when Saban was there.
Way more, yep.
Sorry, go ahead, Kayce.
No, I was going to say, well, and any time a coach that's no longer coaching talks about it, to me, it's kind of like, I don't want to say eye rolling, because I will listen to anything Nick Saban says. He's the best college football coach of all time. But it's always like, dude, you don't have to deal with any of this. You can say it from like where you are sitting now. Coaches are not going to sit here and be like, thank God Trump's doing this, because they know damn well this is not going to change anything. And they're still going to have to pay those players. But I do find it interesting that when we get the actual breakdown of it, it doesn't seem as absurd that I thought it was going to be. I thought Trump was going to be like, no more paying. They're going back to amateurism before 2021. He's at least trying to make some things fixed here and there. It's just not ever going to happen.
No, I mean, no, it's and you're right about the old coaches weighing in. It's got a little bit of like, I don't know about this internet thing.
Yeah,
you know? I just don't know if it's gonna last.
This newfangled internet.
I forgot to mention this in Deion's story. We did get a banger of a Greg Sankey tweet. Did y'all see this?
No.
Yes.
It said, quote, an encouraging health note to everyone. Go see your doctors and get your regular checkups. Today was colonoscopy day for me, and all is well. For those who have encouraged me to put things where the sun does not shine, you got your wish today. Take care of your health. That was pretty. I mean, that's pretty. The end of that is pretty good. No.
Yeah, pretty good. I didn't like where it was going, but then he saved it.
Yeah, but be like, for all of you that have to stick it up my ass. So guess what? Today I did.
Yeah, I stuck it up my ass.
It also, when I first started reading it, when I saw it on Twitter, I was like, is he jumping on the Deion thing? And then the fact that it was about him too, I found that just being so Greg Sankey. Like, listen, he's right. You should go get checked out. But it's like, we just had this major news thing about Deion Sanders and beating cancer, and he's like, oh, by the way, somebody stuck something up my ass,
and I'm good to go, and I'm completely healthy, guys.
Sankey. Very Greg Sankey. Just really quick, a note on Nick Saban too, which this is why I think he's so good at media. The fact that right after we got done recording, it was the same interview he was talking about the Trump executive order. When people are asking, is he going to go back to coaching? And Greg McElroy was kind of talking about, like, alluding to a rumor. And he said the closest he's ever been to wanting to coach again is because Miss Terry asked him to sweep the entire downstairs floor. And he was like, coaching at Death Valley is easier than that. I just can't fathom a guy like Nick Saban doing fucking housework. Like, to me, it's like, I know he's not coming back, but like,
you got me fucked up. Are you sniffing kids?
Yeah.
Brandon sniffing kids on all the Miss Terry stories.
Somebody told Nick Saban along the way how to do some down home, sentimental type quotes or whatever. Like, Come on. This morning, Miss Terry had me sweeping the floor, and let me tell y'all something.
I kind of agree.
Let me tell y'all something that was tougher than winning at Tiger Stadium. This is Bear Bryant out of the 70s bullshit.
I think that
I like it. Now, granted, I'm a little bit biased. I'm friends with his daughter, Kristen, and we follow each other on Instagram. So I get to see, like, he'll be like in the garage, like writing like a random like machinery thing. And I'm like, this is crazy that I'm seeing this. I'd like to believe that he is just this normal guy at home. That's like, God damn, my wife's making me do some shit again.
I just think that if I made the amount of money that Nick Saban made, I would never do a household chore ever again.
Well, guess what?
I would have daily cleaning people.
And she doesn't either.
I would never fold a single cloth ever again.
But
broom? What's a broom?
Hear me out, fellas, though. That may be true. But sweeping sucks. If you're like, well, I'd rather sweep my entire house or go coach football. I mean, I feel like coaching football might be more fun.
Yeah, I agree with that. But you know what is pretty fucking satisfying? The pile that you build at the end of a good sweep.
Yeah.
Oh, and then you stick that in the dustbin. Yeah. Oh, God.
Just a 30-second little rabbit hole on Saban. Please. And Saban returning to coaching next year. Let's just say, I'm going to say Brandon Walker is guaranteeing right now Nick Saban coaches next year. Now, we're not going to speculate where that would be as of right now. But if I am one of like 3 teams, if I'm Oklahoma, if I'm Florida, and if I'm LSU, I'm already on the phone. I've already made the call. I've already called the agent and been like, hey, listen, we might have an opening soon. And I saw he was talking about, is he being for real? I think those 3 teams stand out above all the others because he's not, listen, I'll just throw my team under the bus. Mississippi State has a job opening tomorrow. He's not coming to Mississippi State. He's not going Tulane. Florida, LSU, Oklahoma, I think those are the 3.
Also, Alabama. Alabama jumped on the phone again. Hey, Kalen DeBoer, does he want to make a comeback?
I don't think he'd want to go back to Alabama.
I don't think he'd want to go back to
Once
Alabama.
Once you get out of that bullshit, I don't think you want to go back into it.
I mean, going to any of those schools you just mentioned, maybe not. LSU for sure would have bullshit. I mean, I know you were there before, but
LSU's different. Every school is bullshit. You're right. I think Alabama's just it's worlds above anybody else. But I get you.
The LSU rumor. Now that's kind of a little sexy because local lore is like always that, he wanted to come back after the Dolphins, but they were happy with Miles and they were still upset with him and they didn't know what he'd become, blah 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 blah. Like if LSU does not have the money to move on for Brian Kelly, it's still going to be like $50 million after this season.
I think LSU
LSU
has ways to figure out how to get money.
But I was going to say, if you were going to dangle that Nick Saban would be coming back, that would actually be the only hypothetical scenario that I could see that money somehow gets raised to make that happen. Nice, sexy rumor there at the B-Walk.
Oh, yeah. I mean, then I love the lore of it because you're right. They're probably like, listen, if he had his choice, he would have been back in Baton Rouge and not Tuscaloosa. But I mean, I don't think that he would ever want to, even if he had to do all the chores, just because he obviously doesn't like the way college football is going. But T-Bob, do you really think, I mean, I know you've mentioned it this episode and last episode, and I made the joke about the children's hospital thing, but do you really think that $50 million would be that hard for LSU to come up with? Because I just don't see a world where that's possible.
Yes, because in the NIL era of college football, it sounds crazy, but shit like state economy matters. Like, how much money do your alumni have? And I love Louisiana with all of my heart. It will forever be what I consider home. But the kind of brass tacks is that we are not a very successful state. We have one of the worst economies in the entire country. We have one of the biggest brain drains that has gone on over the last 15 to 20 years with, people leaving the state because of economic opportunity elsewhere. And it's a small state. I mean, I think the entire state has about 4 million people.
Yeah.
Like New Orleans has 500,000 people. If you go greater New Orleans, like all the metro, I think you barely crack 1 million. So it's just, there's not a ton of people, not a lot of economy, not a lot of economic opportunity. And so you got your Todd Graves. Everybody has to have a billionaire. You do, but they're already ringing Graves out for they're hitting him up 24/7. So it would be a heavy lift to the point where I almost can't, unless Brian Kelly went 5-7. I cannot fathom a world of that. Be the only thing would be that Saban hypothetical.
You forgot to mention you.
For what?
Right.
For the money.
No, I'm not on Brandon Walker level yet. I can't be a booster yet.
No.
Hopefully in a few years I'll be. Yeah, I saw you call Luke Combs out, wanting him to be an App State booster. Well, are you a Mississippi State booster?
Like I said, I gave $250 to NIL this year.
Okay.
How do you think they land Fluff?
Yeah.
That's all.
I'm sorry. How do you think they landed Brandon Walker?
The basketball player.
True.
I just realized something. Did you ever start more cowbell again?
No, it's had trouble. I haven't been able to find a producer, which is much like this show.
Was that was that an NIL fund that you were going to make called More Cowbell?
I was just going to sell ads and give it right to NIL. Yeah.
Smart.
See, Bob, a little inside baseball on that. On the college football show, there was obviously a whole thing about how Dave let Mincy use Brick Watch for the Grove Collective at Ole Miss.
Wow.
And I don't remember exactly what the bet was, Brandon. Was it over the Egg Bowl? I think it must have been. And Dave basically said Brandon could start More Cowbell again, but every dollar of the subscription on Patreon had to go to the Mississippi State Collective.
No, that was my that was my thing that I was going to do the money in the NIL.
But wasn't it over the Egg Bowl?
No, it was before that. It wasn't even over anything. It was me saying, because you have done this for him, you could at least do that for me. And he said, yeah.
I would like to thank Dave, because this is, and we can move on because this is very local lore, but when he stole Bryce Underwood, and I'm very good friends with the LSU collective, and LSU was having a massive problem with grassroots funding. Like they had all the big donors, they couldn't get like the people to give. And when he stole Bryce Underwood, it was a catalyst for all of a sudden, like the average Joe's giving money, to the point where all of a sudden the collective guys tell me, like, bro, we have more grassroots money than Ole Miss now, which they were always kind of at the top of the heap. So, you lose a Bryce Underwood, but you get millions of dollars elsewhere. Maybe not the worst overall.
Well, let me stop you there, because Dave did not steal Bryce Underwood. Dave acted like and puffed his chest out and said, "I'm going to pay Bryce Underwood." Then an actual rich guy showed up.
I know.
An actual rich guy showed up and said,
Larry
I'll take
Ellison's
it.
secret fifth wife
Yeah.
stole Bryce Underwood.
It wasn't the guy. It was the billionaire's wife.
That's who wanted it, but he paid for it.
Is that not the most wonderful college football story ever? That the internet didn't even know about the existence of this woman, and college football is what that led us all to realize that Ellison was married a fifth time. I also love the idea that's like, oh man, what should I get my wife for Christmas?
Yeah, quarterback.
Fuck, I don't know. Okay, you know what? Bryce. Yeah, okay, I'll get her Bryce Underwood. There we go. Finally. She get off my fucking back.
She was like, "Don't give me Birkin bags. Don't give me designer bags. Give me a quarterback, baby. Go out."
I mean, to be fair, like, what other thing are you going to buy for $12 million?
Well, that's like she's not Southern, but that's like a classic Southern woman thing.
Oh,
like
hell
a
yeah,
socialite in Birmingham. What would you like for Christmas? Just a sugar bowl win.
Brandon, you know who would have said that? Sandra Bullock in The Blind Side.
1,000%.
He did not like that.
Have you ever seen The Blind Side?
Yeah.
Get the fuck out.
You don't like The Blind Side?
I have never seen it, and you should not watch it either.
It's such a good movie, isn't it, T-Bob?
You don't like the Toohey family?
It's not true. It's not real.
Yeah, I know.
They didn't adopt a guy because they were great people. They adopted a guy so he'd go to Ole Miss.
Yeah, no shit.
Right.
Yeah, but I mean, look,
they made a movie.
I don't know.
Lion.
Yeah.
They just made a movie, and she won an Oscar for acting like an idiot.
Look, every great story that's
I never
true.
had one of these. What? A bed?
I think no. Trust me. I knew a
Guy
couple
goes to private
guys.
school.
I knew a couple guys that were teammates with Ower, and I mean, I know now he's talking about how he hates that movie for like multiple reasons. But yeah, they were like, he's not slow. He's not
like,
He's
stupid.
not,
yeah.
no. He's like a completely intelligent, like
he
a
knows how to
normal
talk.
adult. Yes. But again, you know that when you watch a movie, though, even if it's a true story. Look.
I'm not what? That's not a true story.
But that's what I say. You know who the best storytellers are, though? The people who embellish. Stand-up comics, everybody. Nobody wants a story told completely true to them. Spice me up a little bit.
I've had Ower himself message me and be like, "Hey, man,
That is true.
you're right on the money here."
Yeah. No, I mean,
Yeah.
he hates it. He hates it.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was a couple of years ago, too, that he came out and was like, it's all a lie. Regardless, the movie itself is good.
Yes, I agree.
The story,
She's on the field telling the football coach how to coach.
And it's got, coming this fall to Chapel Hill. I mean, we're going to see it again. No, look, and it's got Coach O and Nick Saban in it. I mean, come on, dude.
That's a good point.
I gotta turn a blind side to that movie and side with Brandon.
No. Have you seen it?
Yeah, way back in the day. But I was a kid. I was influenced the wrong way. Brian Walker's enlightened me.
Mm-hmm.
Sandra Bullock is phenomenal. Don't you ever slander her. Before we move on, got to talk about something you never slander, and that's some good leggings, some good boxer briefs. Our friends at Viore. This morning I was wearing a matching red set with Viore. I had the matching leggings, the matching sports bra. Felt like butter on my skin. Absolutely incredible. It's designed to look great. Not just at the gym, though. Behind everything that you want, Viore will help you. So whether it's running errands, whether it's heading to the office, they've got everything that you could possibly need to not only look great, but feel comfortable. They've got the core short. It's ideal for fitness, obviously. It's there is no better feeling than working out in good quality clothes that also make that ass pop. I'm telling you, girls, pop, 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 pop. It's great. But also, as we've said, the breathable boxer briefs, they have the liner that you never get hot down there, fellas. never get hot. You definitely need to check those out. Soft, lightweight.
I'll put it to the test, okay? Because I've got some sweaty thighs.
The boys, listen, Viore will help those thighs breathe. The boys comfortable, okay? That's what they do at Viore, and it's an investment in your happiness. It's worth it. It's clothes that are worth that investment. They also have the soft, lightweight, 4-way performance stretch. It moves with you, no restrictions. And guys or girls, whatever, if you want to buy a gift for the lady in your life or the guy in your life, I guess, the matching sets. Easy way to win it over because she can wear it shopping. She can wear it on a walk. She can wear it to the gym. She can wear it to brunch, and she will look great in it. So get yourself some of the most comfortable and versatile clothing on the planet at Viore.com. That's VUORI.com/roughness. Again, that's VUORI.com/roughness. Exclusions to apply. Visit the website for full terms and conditions. That's 20% off your first purchase and free shipping on any U.S. overs over $75 and free returns. So for some reason you don't like the fit, you don't like where it hits, you don't like any of the stretch, you can return it for free. Again, Viore.com/roughness and discover the versatility of Viore clothing. All right, T-Bob, speaking of LSU, speaking of Brian Kelly.
Aye.
This always comes up, every once in a while.
Did you say aye?
Aye, lad, that I did. Let's hear what the old lady has to say.
Clemson and LSU opening the season. We know that's a big game. And the Death Valley debates have started to rage up again. We've got, first of all, I think Brian Kelly's such an asshole. So anytime he talks, I'm like, oh, God, you just sound like a douche. And we got Dabo coming with receipts. Before we get into the actual facts of the matter, what is your take? You obviously an LSU Tiger. I assume you believe LSU is the true Death Valley.
Yeah, I mean, look, obviously, you cannot come to me and expect to get an unbiased answer here.
Which is why I'm starting.
Therefore, I have a proposal. In Fast and the Furious, what do? They race for pinks, right? Well, let's put this shit on.
Oh man, I don't know that you want to do this.
Well, no, I'm trust me. I think LSU's going to lose. But I'm saying, this is how in a just society this shit should be handled. This is Viking style. Back in the day, if you were bigger and you were stronger, well, guess what? You could just go take over your neighbor's household. All of a sudden, his farmlands, his livestock, his women and children, they're yours now. In that same way, let week 1, Saturday night in South Carolina, let that be a referendum on who gets to claim Death Valley. Because if LSU is to win that game, and they go in there and they beat that Clemson team, which I think had, almost 3 or 4 guys on all of our top 10 players in the entire country. Yeah. If they do that week 1 on their own, then it will be inarguable and unassailable that the Baton Rouge Death Valley is the real Death Valley.
Well, let me ask you a question. Is it a home and home?
I don't believe so.
It's a
Let me double
one-off?
check. Let me double check on that real quick.
It has to be a home and home, right?
It is a home and home. Never mind. I apologize.
So I think the way you said it, if Clemson wins this year, if one of these two teams sweeps this series.
So the series has to be for pinks, and then if not, we'll have to figure out another way.
Yeah, or Clemson can have it until they play again, whatever. But I'll just go and answer it because I am unbiased when it comes to these two teams. Fuck them both. The real Death Valley is absolutely in LSU. It's not close. That is the best college football stadium in the country. It's the loudest college football stadium in the country. I've been to multiple games at LSU.
Brandon Walker.
I've been to one game at Clemson. It does not even come close to comparing. It is not.
Rush the field.
It is not. Clemson should be embarrassed that they even try to claim to have Death Valley.
I 1,000% agree with the take that LSU is far better. I mean, LSU is the best stadium in the country. I think LSU is the coolest school in the country, minus Brian Kelly. I will say, though, and I know you don't like Dabo, Brandon. I know you might come around a little bit more on him just because you hate South Carolina so much, but he did come with the receipts that technically Clemson was called Death Valley for many decades before LSU was.
Oh, is that real? Yes, I know.
So he was saying they're the head coach, a guy named Lonnie McMillan that coached at Presbyterian, and they played Clemson like from 1930 to like 1950 or something. And in 1945, he said, I'm taking the boys to Death Valley. And then apparently LSU didn't start calling it that till 1959. I'm just saying Dabo came with the receipts. I agree with you, Brandon. It's absolutely LSU. And he came with the receipts.
Let me tell you something. Dolly Parton had a great song with I Will Always Love You. She did a beautiful rendition of it. And for years and years and years, it was fantastic and great. And nobody would argue it was a bad song. It's a terrific song. And then Whitney Houston sang it.
Yep.
And sang it the right way and sang it better than anybody will ever sing it ever again. Even though Dolly Parton helped write it and did it first, that's now Whitney Houston's song. And Death Valley is Whitney Houston. Clemson is Dolly Parton in this particular analogy.
I love that.
I mean, look at the one I always think about like that is Hurt. Trent Reznor in that's a Trent Reznor song, right?
Yeah.
I think in 90 Cents song Hurt, but then Johnny Cash sang it, and even Reznor himself said, "No, that's actually
That's a
Johnny Cash's song now."
Yeah.
The only issue with that, not to like pick apart analogies, because I agree it is LSU, is that Dolly Parton still gets the credit, right? She still wrote it. Whitney Houston might have said, there's no way anybody at LSU is like, listen, I mean, Clemson called it Death Valley first, but it's ours now.
Yeah, well, good, because it's, again, to the victor go the spoils.
I do love the
let's
idea.
Let's throw the footballs
Let's
out.
fucking get it on.
I do love that. Like, just from like from a naming standpoint, it's just like that, like everything on the line. Who is the real Death Valley? That would be very fun. Liam, who do you side with? You side with us that it's LSU?
Yeah, I mean, I side with it being LSU. It's not a big deal to me though. Like if both of them want to call each other Death Valley, who cares? There's a million Wildcats in the sport. There's a million Tigers. They're both the Tigers. Is there only one real Tiger here? Like it's whatever. It's summer college football talk.
Fuck you, piece of shit.
Yeah,
Liam!
the real Death Valley's actually in California.
Yeah.
You ever seen Death
I
Valley,
guess that is
California?
true.
It's Todd
True,
Bowles
actually true, I suppose.
And
Go
then
play a
this
game
one,
there.
This one, I think, before we end the news and notes, we're going to get to a cool player list in a second. But international games, we've seen that Michigan and Western Michigan are apparently in talks to have games in Germany. Starting in 2026, we have Farmageddon this year to open the season as Kansas State, Iowa State. And when we were texting in the group text, I felt like all of us would feel the same way. I think international games are stupid. But T-Bob, you said you think it's awesome. So I want to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, it's awesome, dude. Are you kidding me? Fucking, hey, look, if there's one thing I believe in, it's manifest destiny of America, okay? And I want to export my culture and slap my culture all over the rest of this planet. And one of the
40 or fight.
One of the greatest shames of this planet as a whole right now is not increased nuclear proliferation. It's not isolationism gaining by leaps and bounds. No, one of the world's greatest shames right now is that there's not enough college football imprint across the entirety of the globe. And so if this is going to expand that, then fuck yeah, I'm about it. Now, all that aside,
What was that?
Did you have
that was just like a little jokey banter, right?
Okay.
I will say, in all seriousness, I love the international games. I think they're very fun. I love the stage, and I do think it's really fucking cool. Who didn't love watching Georgia Tech and Florida State last year in Ireland?
Yeah.
Georgia Tech had the badass uniforms. I hate having it be Michigan and Western Michigan, though.
That's silly.
A blowout. If we're going through all the fucking logistics of like Farmageddon, hell yes. Longest continuous series in college football history. This could be the 109th year in a row in which they play. It's 56-50 overall. They're very close a few times. They're very closely matched. But like, it's a bad to me. Like, we want college football to be best foot forward. Going to Frankfurt to watch Michigan just beat the fuck out of Western Michigan is not really going to be that exciting for anyone. So I don't love the opponents there, but I do like the idea of international games.
Brandon?
I mean, I don't mind them, but I do think it should have and should be Notre Dame's thing. Like when Notre Dame hosted a team in Ireland, they're the Fighting Irish. They are, if anybody has a worldwide brand, it is them. I don't know that Farmageddon is the export that is going to make sense to where are they playing that one? That one in Ireland too? That one's in Dublin?
Yeah, in Ireland.
I just don't know how many Dublin people are going to be really as appreciative of Farmageddon as they are Notre Dame playing in their stadium.
Well, but but to be fair, what are the Irish known for?
Drinking.
Potatoes.
Okay.
Okay? Farming. So again, while there may be growing different crops, I feel like there may be more an appreciation for the Iowa State and Kansas State brands that we're giving credence to.
I do think that anytime an American sport is going to go over there, especially like college football, it's going to be a good time. It's going to sell out. But I do like the idea of it being like a Notre Dame novelty type of thing. Like I don't want to see like for the rest of time week 0 being 2 random teams overseas. And also like if it ever did come down to, I mean, obviously Florida State was just awful last year. It didn't matter. But after week 0, we're all questioning like, what is this going to mean for Florida State? I don't want a game internationally to end up deciding like a true like playoff spot, if that could ever even happen. You know what I mean? It's like they had to travel all the way overseas. They had to do all these things. Like it's a novelty thing to me.
That's a good point. And I would say maybe that's where Farmageddon's kind of a nice sweet spot. But that could have major playoff ramifications. I mean, It counts as a Big 12 game, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. So maybe
Big 12 game in Dublin doesn't really hit.
This is where I think you're all wrong. I think there's nothing wrong with international football. I think that the issue is we're doing this at the very beginning of the season, week 0.
That's when I needed
no, but
to
you
be
have
wrong.
to do it though. You have to do it.
No,
then.
How
are you going to do it in the middle?
You're not doing it in the middle. You're doing it at the end.
How are you going to do it at the
Tokyo
end?
Bowl was a big hit.
No, but you want your or at least in my opinion, I feel like at the end.
No, you just.
What if you're playing for a conference championship the next week?
Or what if no one cares?
Season.
Oh, you're talking about bowl season.
Well, then be more clear.
I literally just said the Tokyo Bowl.
Need to say
we
Tokyo
have the
Bowl.
Bahamas Bowl. We had the International Bowl where teams are playing in Canada. If you want, they had a game in Kilimanjaro, man. Like they played games internationally, and they've stopped doing that and now do it at the beginning to try and spice it up and make it a bigger thing when it could have major ramifications on those teams' seasons in a like that can't.
But bowls don't matter anymore, and I feel like after
week 0 does matter. Though this could be a big
after
game.
2 years of doing a bowl, they would just lose interest, and there'd be 5,000 people.
You don't think people are going to care once again though about bowl if it's being played in Tokyo and they have a game that's on that late at night?
No, I think Brandon's right. I think the fact that this game has
that.
regular season stakes juices it up. I also think, look, they're taking advantage of the man in the desert principle, which is it's that same idea as like a light in a dark room shines all the brighter, right? When you've been wandering the summer doldrums, desperate to sup from the cup of football, and then you get your week 0 or most of the matchups or whatever, but you have this one matchup everybody's excited for. The hype around it does exceed that of a bowl game in the midst of bowl season where we have just feasted, where we're filled in the corners of football, and then we still have football bowl games every day, which I love. But it is the hype wise, those are vastly different things.
Perhaps I just also do agree with Brand though that I think the Ireland game, the international week 0 game, is a Notre Dame thing against a gimmicky program. That's more so why I think it should be.
No.
Maybe gimmicky isn't the correct word, but I think
it should be major out of conference fucking opponents.
No, but we have 2 big time in conference opponents playing in a few weeks, and I don't like that Farmageddon is not going to be played on and decided on their campus.
I don't like that they're not playing Farmageddon in 2027. That's the real bullshit.
Guys,
what?
Let's just talk about getting your deck hard.
Okay, good idea.
Cool.
Because that's what Farmageddon does for me week 0.
Yeah, true. Same.
I'm fucking chubbed up.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
You came to my house the other night, right?
Yeah, hell yeah, it was great. Thank you. You fed me a fat ass steak.
We sat by the fire right at dark, right after dark.
Yep.
Did the mosquitoes eat you up?
They got me pretty good. Actually, well, so
still itchy.
I should say this.
I was barefooted and now I just want to scratch my feet the whole show.
They got my family good. This is weird. I don't know if there's scientific stuff behind this. I've heard it could maybe do with alkaline or something, but somewhere in my life, mosquitoes stopped biting me.
They don't like you, huh?
I'm not sweet enough.
You don't got that sweet blood.
I got the sweet blood. So no, I saw all of you, lesser humans getting bit up, and I would feel them land on me, but I have no mosquito bites of which to speak on.
Have better sex with Blue Chew.
What a transition, Brandon.
I mean, to be fair, both have to do with blood, right? One's going to take away your blood. This is going to increase your blood.
Blue Chew is the original brand offering chewable tablets for better sex. These erection-enhancing tablets help men achieve stronger, harder, and longer-lasting erections for sexual activities. It's not just about getting hard. It's about staying hard. Blue Chew is built for both. Guys, be ready when she needs it and get your first month of Blue Chew free. Great sex is only a few clicks away. Sign up at BlueChew.com. Consult with one of their licensed medical providers. Once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days. Blue Chew tablets are made in the USA and prepared and shipped directly to your door. The best part? It's all done online. That means no visits to the doctor's office, no awkward conversations, and no waiting in line at the pharmacy. Guys, this isn't just about performance. This is about legacy or third leg. A C. Talking about the penis. When you lay it down with Blue Chew, you're not just making memories, you're shifting paradigms. Elevate your bedroom game and become a case study in evolution. Hard dicks.
Hell yeah.
Discuss your options at BlueChew.com, and we got a special deal for our listeners. As always, your first month of Blue Chew is free. Just use promo code Roughness at checkout. Pay $5 for shipping. That's it. Join Blue Chew's global mission to make better sex the dominant drive of modern society. Head to BlueChew.com for details and safety info. Huge thanks to Blue Chew for sponsoring this podcast.
All right, Brandon, you came with an idea from...
Well, let me shout him out.
Yes.
Let me shout him out. Van Lathan of The Ringer, who does their, he's on the rewatchables. He has his Midnight Boys. He has Pew Pew. He has all that stuff.
You know what's funny? Who's Van Lathan a fan of? Do you remember?
He is an LSU Tiger.
Oh, that's right. What's up, Van? You my dog.
Baton Rouge's own Van Lathan. One of my favorites in all of media. And by the way, if he ever decides to just dive into college football with 2 feet, he could just be huge.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah.
Huge.
Anyway, so Van had this idea. He was talking to Pate the other day, and Pate couldn't take time and sucking off every team in the country. But anyway, he was talking to Pate, and he's like, hey, man, I got an idea to talk about on your show. And it was the most can't-miss guys of the last 15 years. Now, he used the last 15 years going back to 2010 because it was the day Honey Badger retired from football. And Honey Badger obviously...
No, he counts. He counts.
Right.
Yeah.
No, he does count.
Okay.
But I think that's what gave him his timeline.
Oh, I see. Okay, yeah.
I think he went back 15 to get Honey Badger within the timeline. So Honey Badger retired, and he is up there. And I was just thinking, I said 5 or 6, but who over the last 15 years are the top 5 can't-miss guys? When they're on TV, your eyes are glued to them, and you got to watch them. Now, you could rank them, or you could just do 5. I don't care how you did it. I didn't really give you any parameters. So did you all rank them from 5 to 1, or do you just have 5 guys?
I ranked mine, but just to shout him out. So his list was fascinating to me because he had Honey Badger. I mean, I don't know if he ranked them. He just obviously listed them, but he had Honey Badger, Lamar Jackson, Travis Hunter, Cam Newton, and Johnny Manziel. And then he did his honorable mentions, which were Leonard Fournette, Devonta Smith, Derrick Henry, and Joe Burrow. And that just like sent my head swirling that Joe Burrow would not be on somebody's top 5 list. So
I don't think he should be. I don't think he should be.
That's Kayce. We don't like.
No.
There's no need to engage.
I
with
did
this
want to
ignorance.
adjudicate this. I think this is a fair thing to talk about.
It is.
Let me before we go into the top 5s. That 2019 season of Joe Burrow is the greatest season of all time. He led the greatest offense of all time, maybe the greatest team of all time, and he was probably the greatest in-season quarterback of all time. But it's also, I do have to ignore a year where he was just average.
Yeah.
I do have to ignore, if I'm saying the most can't miss from start to finish of his career, he is not. He was can't miss for that last year. Is that a fair?
No,
I guess it's the way I would think about it and the way I did mine was it didn't matter to me if it was one season or if it was the entire career because when you look at, I'm not going to leave Cam Newton off. He only played 1 year.
Yeah.
No, but he only played 1 year though. That's the thing.
No, I get
Joe Burrow had another year where
I get what you're saying, but if we're taking like iconic can't miss, like to me, I don't know. I guess we'll see. But
his junior year, you weren't texting me saying, "Oh my God, Joe Burrow's on ABC."
You're doing excellent top tier Mike Francesa level of sports talk here.
I'm doing.
It's like when he was like one of my favorite Mike takes ever. He talks about how Tom Brady's not the best quarterback I've ever seen because Joe Montana is the best playoff quarterback I've ever seen, and Peyton Manning's the best regular season. I get what you're saying, ignoring that year, but if you're making this list, it's mainly going to be like Kayce said because a guy had a year where he was just overwhelming and you had to watch him every Saturday.
I fear you're trying to frame this as a hot take. I don't think it's a hot take. It
is a hot take.
My thing about it is if this category was the greatest single seasons in college football history, Joe Burrow is number 1 with a bullet. If it is most can't miss players, I chose it as a career thing. I chose it as when the guy got there and I chose it that way. nobody noticed him as a junior at LSU. And then all of a sudden he turned into
into God.
He turned into Michael Vick, Cam Newton, everybody rolled into one. Peyton Manning, all of them. Like his junior year, nobody gave a fuck. I think that's a thing.
Okay. All right, let's get into the list because
hold on real quick before I let you do that. Blutman, 20-second reply on who you think is right here.
I think you're actually wrong here.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Sorry, my brain's in the other zone.
If Ev also is doing a cool interview today that'll come out later, so he has a reason that he's out. I feel like Ev would side with me and T-Bob. I know how much he loves Joe Burrow. I see what you're saying, Brandon. I don't think that it's like a ridiculous thing. I just think when I looked at this list, especially because it's only the last 15 years, which T-Bob and I were talking before the show is crazy that like you're like Tim Tebow doesn't like.
Yeah, all my initial instincts are like, oh wait, they got to go on the old guys list.
Like we're old now. But I do feel like Joe Burrow is absolutely a guy in 2019 all the way through. Even now, it's like he was a can't miss guy. But Brandon, do you want to go first?
So wait, real quick to Brandon's point, because I'm sure Burrow will come up, but the Burrow's junior year, 57% completion,
not great,
2,800 yards, 16 touchdowns, 5 picks.
Right.
Now
the most average you could be.
So, and then the next year goes up to 76%, 5,600 yards, 60 touchdowns, and 6 picks. That's insane.
It's the greatest season of all time.
That is, I don't even care about the argument. I just want to look at like
how does he go from that to that?
The year-to-year improvement is actually like doesn't make sense.
It doesn't.
Like if like that should be fake. That should be blindside.
Was Joe Brady with him his junior year?
No. So again, LSU guy who covered this way too in depth.
Right.
Joe Brady was the final piece of the puzzle that created a perfect storm where they had Steve Ensminger, who had called plays for decades, but didn't, fully understand the new age concepts. And so you bring in Brady, and then he understands the new age of offense. He gets with Ensminger, but then Ensminger is still this expert play caller with like decades of experience. And so they just became a perfect tag team. And then also you combine having Jefferson, Chase, Marshall, Allaire, whatever.
Well, not to say that it's a complete 180, or not 180, but a complete like thing for Joe Brady. But Joe Brady being there obviously makes a big difference, just like Cliff Kingsbury made a big difference in College Station for Johnny. So, all right. Brandon, do you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first. My number 5 is Joe Burrow.
You fucking troll.
You can't keep him off the list.
Troll.
I do have him at 5. I'm not going to put him.
I do hate you for that.
I'm going to put him. I'm not going to put him. There's guys I have above him as far as from rooter to tutor, from start to finish, being more watchable. But I mean that 2019 season was so off the charts crazy that I have to put him on there. Number 4, it's Lamar Jackson. And his is like game maybe 3 of him being the starting quarterback where you started looking around like, hey, you see this motherfucker at Louisville? You see this guy? And then he just kept going, and he won the Heisman the year before. He had a year after he won the Heisman, right?
Yes.
Yeah, a stellar year.
Yeah, and he was good. Like anytime you win the Heisman and then you're back, I mean that's must watch stuff. Number 3, and I truly think this guy's college career is very underrated. It's Jameis Winston. Yeah. Jameis Winston, from the second he threw his first ball at Florida State to the second he threw his last ball at Florida State, was must-watch TV.
Yeah.
He was constantly undefeated his first year national title, and everybody's like he failed his second year. Yeah, they got to the playoff Final Four, and they lost to Oregon. I mean, like he was up and down because he was in and out of the lineup because of stupid shit. But he was must-watch, incredible. Number 2 is Johnny Manziel. I don't have to go any further on that. And number 1 is, unfortunately, because he should have been doing it maroon and white, but it is Cam Newton, who got to Auburn, played 1 year, and was absolute must-watch the entire time he was there. So there's my list. Burrow, Jackson, Winston, Manziel, and Cam Newton.
Now, Cam makes the 15-year cutoff as well?
I did, because going from starting at 24, which is the last season we had, it does count that, right?
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I mean, look, I agree. Cam Newton's the best football player I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah.
It is, again, it's crazy, though, to think that that was over 15 years ago. Like it's
Sure
That's
is
right at 15
depressing.
years ago.
The
yeah,
inexorable
but
march
we're
of
just,
time.
We're just washed.
Every
We're washed.
day we get a day closer to the grave. You
Yep.
know, new aches and pains.
Circling the drain.
There's so many giant graveyards here in Chicago, and
None
I
of this
drive by
matters.
them every day, and I'm just like, fuck, it's gonna be us soon.
I would actually argue every day we get further and further away from the grave. Have you been talking to Stephen Che's medical source?
No,
Interesting.
interesting. Is he with the guy who studies his son's erections?
Don't bring that. Hey, don't.
Please do not. Please do not.
I've been studying my son's erections, and I'm impressed.
Wait, what?
Yep,
Good for him.
I'm happy with him. I make sure to check on his erections at least 3 times a week, Liam. Did your father do this for
Who
you?
has 3 erections a week?
Well, look, I mean, Blue Chew. I feed him Blue Chew.
Oh, wait, is that low?
I don't. Guys, to be clear, do not feed your children Blue Chew.
Is
I
that
don't do
low?
that.
That seems very low.
I'm making an old person joke, Kayce.
He's making it. I'm old
I
now.
know, but even for old people.
Yes. Well, I mean,
I've
I
had
think
3 today.
I think at a certain point you can get old
you're
enough where you
right.
probably don't get any erections at all.
I don't.
Now you don't know where I'm coming from.
No, you know what, T-Bob, what's your list? I can't talk about Brandon, and this makes me want to die.
All right, so okay, I'm gonna name some players because what I turn into Liam for my final list would have too much overlap with Brandon. So I'm gonna name some guys because I too Cam Newton's my obvious number 1 with a bullet. I'd have Tyrann Mathieu too. Did you talk about Tyrann actually?
No,
you didn't have
I was
on this.
letting you do that.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so let's start with Tyrann Mathieu. Number 1 for this conversation, since Cam's already taken, because I've never seen a player so consistently impact a game in such flashy ways. Like there's a lot of dominant, like Caleb Downs. Caleb Downs is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Caleb Downs will not leave college with the highlight tape, even a fourth of the highlight tape that Tyrann Mathieu had. And it wasn't just returning punts. I mean, his ability to create turnovers, impact the game, take over games. Best football player I've ever seen in my life. Best player I've ever shared a locker room with. I fucking love that man. Another guy on my list. This will be my number 5. Jadeveon Clowney.
Oh yes, hello.
And this is kind of what we were talking about earlier, where his senior year, he so obviously just wanted to get to the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
He was very checked out. I mean, I know guys who played against him that were literally saying that Clowney was like, whoa, man, like they'd go like to cut him, and he'd be like, whoa, why the fuck you going to my knee? Like,
Yeah.
He was kind of chilling. But that junior year, 23 and a half tiffles, what was it, 13 sacks?
I think it's sophomore year to junior year.
Yeah, it was sophomore. Yeah,
'Cause he only played
no,
3,
sorry, you're
yeah.
right. You're sorry. Second year. I should have said his second
Yeah.
year playing, so sophomore year. That season, and that's the one that had the Michigan play, right?
I think so.
One of the best highlights we've ever seen.
Yeah.
Where he absolutely obliterates the guy back, who picks up the old fumble. Jadeveon Clowney, number 5 on my list. Number 4, I'm going to go Baker Mayfield. I thought Baker was astounding. I mean, the story, former walk-on into the best player in the sport. I mean, planting the flag. Was that?
Yeah.
That was Ohio State, right? Planting the flag. I still remember that Georgia game that he barely lost. That was that in the Rose Bowl, Liam? That
54-51,
shootout,
yeah.
fucking fantastic. Number 3 on my list. I hate this. Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry's Heisman year. And remember, that was the year where him and Leonard Fournette were both absolutely dominating. And then they had that LSU-Alabama matchup that Bama dominated. I still maintain you switch the running backs, the score's the same. But Derrick Henry that year, 2,200 yards, 28 touchdowns, and specifically the picture of him and Mark Ingram before the Natty, where you're like, wait, these guys were both Heisman-winning running backs? One looks like he's 3 times the size of the other. My number 2 would be Travis Hunter. I know it's recent, but who the fuck else was getting me to watch Colorado football every single week? It's something that we've never seen before. And then, like I said, for this list, I'll go one. I'd like one honorable mention if I can, though.
Please.
Jalen Hurts at Oklahoma. The greatest year that is lost to time thanks to Joe Burrow. Here's Jalen Hurts' Oklahoma stats. 69.7% completion. So let's call it 70.
Yeah.
3,800 yards. 11.3 yards per attempt. That is astronomical. 32 touchdowns, 8 picks. Oh, that's pretty good, right? How about this? 1,300 yards on the ground, 5.6 per carry with sacks factored in, and 20 more touchdowns on the ground. The man accounted for 52 touchdowns, almost no turnovers, dominated every facet of the game, but Burrow just happened to have the best year ever. That's my list.
Blutman?
Yeah, I didn't want too much crossover with my counterparts, and I did do some, in true Liam fashion, Liam guys that I just want to go out there and watch play football. I know that I, more than anybody else, was glued to the TV from 2019 to 2021, more so 2020, 2021, though, watching quarterback Carson Strong throw 60-yard nukes to wide receiver Romeo Doubs. I know I was locked in watching that like my life depended on every single snap. Carson Strong's knee couldn't hold up. Poor fella. I loved watching Nevada football for those two, and you had Torrey Horn and Lockhart and these other great receivers come through there. Carson Strong.
Did you not understand the prompt?
I understood the prompt.
You're talking about the Mountain West Offensive Player of the Year, Carson Strong, Brandon. Careful.
Yeah, right.
This is a
Let me
duo. This is
stop
a
you-
duo.
Let me stop you there. We had the prompt was the 5 most electrifying players over the last 15 years. He has named
watch.
4 players in this entry alone.
I've named. Yeah, I did name 4.
Oh,
Correct.
that's-
His entry is the 2020, 2021, Nevada passing attack.
Correct.
his
Yeah,
blood
fair.
entry.
I
love that.
won't do it again. I won't do it again. 2019. Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson,
the
Terrace
LSU
Marshall.
passing attack.
The LSU passing attack
Dad
had
Moss.
men crying real
We're at
tears.
8. We're at 8 players.
Just crying such real tears at what we are witnessing. It was true greatness. Ashton Genty from 2022 to 2024, his entire
good
career.
call.
I was there from the jump. I was there from his days in spring camp before he ever played a snap. I think I could say I never missed an Ashton Genty snap in his career. How many other people could say that?
That's
Probably his teammates. This one's a duo. Well, it's not a duo. It's a two-way. It's a two-way.
It's a
Running
two-way.
back, linebacker, Miles Click Clack Jack. Another one that's a forgotten legend
I agree
because
with
he
that.
didn't really get to pan out in the NFL. His final year at UCLA, he didn't get to pan out because of the injury, and he leaves the team early to go and focus on his NFL career, which again, Miles Jack was in bounds when he picked that ball up in the Jaguars Patriots game. The Jaguars were robbed to go into the Super Bowl. I know it's a college football show. Miles Jack was must-see TV. Replaying in my head. I'm a UCLA guy, so yeah, there might be a bit of bias. The UCLA-Arizona game where Miles Jack just tokes one off for 65 right quick. The UCLA-Washington game where he's playing a bunch of his buddies. He's playing, his back home. He's from Bellevue. And Brown Walker don't slouch. The stiff arm that he puts on Buda Baker, who
Don't let
ends
this
up.
dude do this
Buda
to you. I'm
Baker
loving
was one
this.
of the premier safeties in college football. The stiff arm, the spin
11.
moving stiff arm that he put out there. Oh, great googly moogly, man.
Click clack.
Click clack Jack.
Click-clack.
Miles Jack, one of the forgotten legends. Christian McCaffrey, 2014, 2015.
Thought about it.
Christian
Thought about
McCaffrey in the Rose Bowl against Iowa was one of the coolest performances I've ever witnessed. Lamar Jackson, 2015, 2017.
Now you're over 6. You're over 5.
I'm just doing what I wrote down. Lamar Jackson, you know, guys like me and Lukey will never forget the 2 blunt men going and telling their father, hey, put some money down, Lamar Jackson win the Heisman. Marky Blutman never did.
Wow.
And what happened? The rest is history. One of the greatest
ye
what
of
ifs.
little faith.
Correct. Lil Liam, Lil Lukey saying, watch, he's going to win the Heisman. What he do that first game against Charlotte? Samuel L. Jackson meme and the incredible elite game. Final one, 2011 to 2013. 13, 14-year-old Liam's going out there and telling his friends, hey, you're going to want to watch some action. Khalil Mack's on TV.
Oh, wow. You were dialed to
I was
Khalil
dialed.
like that?
Khalil Mack, one
I feel
of
like
a
I
kind.
didn't come along to Khalil till the NFL.
Well, I was glued to the screen.
All
Top
right,
5
so
pick. Ohio State game?
He had like 25 players.
His top 5 was 7 players
Yep.
on the true list, and then he mentioned 15.
Yep.
Yes.
Great
True.
list.
15 for
That's
sure?
that's a fucking good list.
I
Liam.
could have kept going.
I know that's a good fucking list. Kayce, you're gonna be tough.
Quinion?
You're gonna be hard pressed here.
Listen, this is why I should always let Liam go last. I will say, though, Blutman, I think we talked about it with you on the podcast. I know I talked about it when Katie and Jack were here. To go along with your Blutman lore about Lamar Jackson, I was the sideline reporter for the Louisville, Kentucky game when Lamar Jackson really broke out the year before. And I told all my guy friends the same thing. Now in Texas, you couldn't bet on Lamar Jackson, but I said, listen, this guy's going to win the Heisman Trophy next year. So me and
your boots on the ground.
Boots on the ground.
Yeah, I was there. I got in it. Like that's one of my my interviews that long before Barstool, I used to put on the highlight reel, for when I was working at ESPN. That one was there because I was like, listen, this is his breakout game. Mine is more chalk, but I wanted my list to be kind of the same. So first of all, I did kind of what Blutman did. My honorable mention, number 6, I am going to put the Colorado offense, Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter. It was must-watch TV. Whether you like that or not, it was there. It's not on my top 5, Brandon. It's not on my top 5. You didn't roll your eyes when T-Bob said it.
Yeah, he's a misogynist.
I rolled my eyes when every single person had said something.
Well, actually, okay, to be completely fair, yeah, he has been an asshole to everybody.
Yeah, I roll my eyes every single time.
He is a misogynist, but also he has been an equal opportunity asshole.
No. He just, anytime I talk about Colorado, but I didn't put them on top 5, but I will say those two as a pair. But my number 5, to go along with what you said about Baker, I have Kyler Murray there. And maybe this is like because like Kyler Murray's Heisman year at Oklahoma was crazy. Like I'm just going to go look at his stats. He had almost 4,400 yards. He had 42 touchdowns, 69%. What's wrong with you, Brandon?
I'm really just tired. That's okay. Not even.
Anyways, so
that
Kyler
wasn't
Murray,
even intentional.
So Kyler Murray is my number 5, and maybe, like I said, it's a little bit of bias because he could have been my quarterback, but I thought his year at Oklahoma was must watch. I have Lamar Jackson at number 4, all the reasons we've stated. Cam Newton, Joe Burrow at number 2. The fact that anybody could ever leave Joe Burrow off the list, even if they put him on honorable mention, is crazy. And then, this is 100% not only biased, but I do believe it's true, and it's crazy that T-Bob and Liam didn't mention him. Johnny Manziel, to me, and I understand he's an Aggie, but the amount of people around the country who didn't watch college football knew what was going on with Johnny Manziel because he superseded, Tim Tebow, if he would have been in the same era, he would have been the same way. But when you've got guys like Drake mentioning him and wearing his jersey and it supersedes just college sports, like that, to me, he was a must-watch player. And then people who cared about A&M when he was there that aren't Aggies don't care about A&M near as much anymore. So,
yeah, I mean, I should actually. I mean, Baker should have never made the list before Johnny.
Well, I understand what you're saying.
Nor
about
should
Baker.
Clowney have.
But
I'll
Jimmy
finalize
Clowney's there. I think Johnny. I mean, he's probably not people's number 1s like he is for Aggies, but I mean, he was somebody who
he was can't miss. He was a culture, and he was doing stupid shit like the Alabama play where he spins around, fumbles the ball, and then still throws a touchdown to Mike Evans in the back of the end zone. Like it was really dumb.
And he was also doing stupid shit off the field that everybody was watching, like the Halloween costumes and the whole thing. So he was truly in that era. I mean, he was, Time magazine cover. Anyways, that was a fun little list. Brandon, you sent me.
I have one more that I have to say. I'm sorry. I have to say it. Khalil Tate had one of the greatest seasons of all time that is lost to history. And if you Khalil Tate, I had to say, I'm sorry. It pained me on the insides of my body that I didn't say his name.
Is this 2018?
2015 or 2017? Sorry. 2017 is one of the greatest seasons that is lost to history. He was ruined by coaching the following year.
We should eventually do of our lifetimes because like I said, leaving guys off that list was so crazy. But
Sean
Brandon,
Alexander,
your either ors that you sent me,
Reggie Bush,
Ed Reed,
Peter Wark.
Oh, Peter Wark! Wow, everybody as
Vince
a little
Young.
fat 9-year-old, everybody wanted to be Peter Wark and Michael Vick.
Yeah, I mean, Vince Young, Adrian Peterson.
Patrick Willis, if you want to talk about a defender. I know you probably hated him, but
he's the one guy I always if you ask me the Ole Miss Rebel I respect and like the most is Patrick Willis.
Easily.
Just a good class act guy. And the kind of guy they actually hated to sign. He was a 2-star recruit that they usually don't sign, and they looked into him.
Also, maybe it's my Texas lore, but Michael Crabtree, I feel like, is there.
I mean, I remember exactly where I was with the Crabtree catch on the sideline.
Insane.
In that game over Texas.
Justin Blackman.
Oh, Blackman was a dog.
Yeah. I feel like we could do this forever.
Yeah, we'll do it forever. Yeah.
We can do it forever. Okay, so you want to do 2 either ors, Brandon?
Oh, let's do one either or, and then the movie topic.
The movie topic. I can't wait. Okay, so we have multiple either ors. I'm gonna just kind of pick one.
Pick your favorite one.
My favorite one. Okay. Brandon, you said, who do we think is fired first? It's an either or. Will it be Hugh Freeze or Venables or Napier?
Yeah, that's an SEC one. I feel like you remember last year the coaching carousel in the SEC. Remember it?
Yeah.
You know why because
There wasn't one?
there just wasn't one.
Yeah.
It just didn't exist. There is never a quiet year in the SEC coaching circles, but we had one. Well, what does that mean? It means
people are going to get
all
fucking fired
hell's
this
about to
year.
break
Yeah,
loose.
yeah.
All hell is about to break loose, and there's about 12 programs in the SEC expecting at least 8 or 9 wins this year, and it ain't going to happen. I think Auburn fans are already posturing their way to firing Hugh Freeze. They're already coming up with the same shit they came up with Brian Harsin. They said, "Oh, he had an affair. Let's fire him." With Hugh Freeze, now they're saying, "Oh, he plays golf too much. Let's fire him." Auburn fans are already getting ready to fire him.
So they love it. It's their pastime.
They're preparing for it. Venables probably going to outperform what gets him fired this year. I think he probably wins 8 games, which keeps him there. But 6-6 would get him fired. And then Napier, I think now's as good a time as any.
Well,
To talk about Billy Napier and what's going on in Florida right now, because during this show,
yes, I was about to say
we have just found out there's a report that entering training camp, DJ Lagway is dealing with another injury. Now, let's keep in mind, he hasn't played competitive football for 7 months.
Yeah, a while.
And now he's
in a boot.
We're entering training camp, and the number one reason people like them is in a boot entering training camp. I don't know what you would have done over the last 2 weeks before training camp to put yourself in a boot, but it seems like there might be more to the meets the eye to this. And if Lagway isn't there to prop them up and win 9 games for him, Billy Napier's ass is getting fired. The most likely getting fired out of those 3, Kayce, is in fact Brent Venables, Oklahoma.
Ooh. Okay, T-Bob, do you agree?
I actually think if push came to shove, I think all 3 survive. I think Auburn's still paying too many people not to work. I think Venables' buyout is still going to be a bit too high over what I view. Like Brandon said, I think they're going to hit the win total that he needs. And I think Napier is going to be good enough as well, as long as they grade on a curve for the schedules. In terms of who is most likely, my instinct was Napier. But again, I do love this Florida team. Top 5 O-line in the entire country. If Lagway's healthy, they're going to be able to make some noise. Push comes to shove, I too think it's Venables. He has the least head coaching resume to fall back on. He has to deal with the anger of giving Oklahoma their first 2 losing seasons since 1999.
Yeah.
And although it's expensive, I feel like Oklahoma's got oil money. And the best way to fire coaches, as you know, Kayce, is to have oil money.
And a lot of it.
And a lot of it, right? And so, actually, I agree with Brandon. I'm going to go, after weighing all the elements, I'm going to go Venables.
I am going to go, it came across the desk, obviously, of Liam Blutman during the show, but it whether it's fair or not, if DJ is injured, and this obviously adds to his already hurt shoulder, it's absolutely Billy Napier, because I don't think that they win. What do you think the win total for them would be without him right now? Because I think it's 7.5 with him. And
4.5?
3.5.
Yeah.
The quarterback would be Harrison Bailey.
Yeah.
And I don't think that Florida fans are going to be like, well, DJ Lagway's hurt, so we need to give him another year because they've given him enough time.
No chance.
Absolutely think it's him. If all things considered, I still think it's Hugh Freeze. I think Venables might be the safest one, but that's also because I love John Mateer, and I think that Oklahoma is going to be pretty good. But I'm going to go Napier with an asterisk if DJ Lagway is hurt or not. Blutman?
I think for a multitude of reasons, the answer is Billy Napier. One of them being, I think, if Washington gets hot like I think they do, the Jed Fish to Florida pipeline once again heats up and that connection gets going, and they'll want him back in Gainesville very desperately. I think one thing about Florida is we and so many other people talk about man, Florida's got the guy at quarterback. They could be like, they have a good roster. Schedule's tough, but hey, they could be really good this year. Well, what helps you overcome a tough schedule? Guy at the top who's a really good head coach, and they don't have that, and they will continuously be failing and not being able to overcome a tough schedule because their head coach just ain't doing it.
But see, I do think that Napier has more of a head coaching resume than does Venables.
I do too. I thought Napier's resume was good. I thought the hire was fine, like was good. Stuff didn't work out. Stuff doesn't always work out.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't always go that way. Hey, Billy Napier is a great group of 5 coach. He's not built for the SEC. He's not built for Florida. He showed he's not built for this job. That's okay. Time to move on. The DJ Lagway thing, I've been spending extensive time like throughout the show to try and find more information on this because like Brian said, very random. He's just rambling in a boot. There's gotta be something to that. Just bizarre that happened. The Lagway stuff is pretty worrisome. He's had a hernia. He's had a shoulder injury that he swears he didn't get surgery on. Doesn't have a prosthetic arm. The hamstring injury. This is 3-4 injuries now.
And he's young.
He's young. 3-4 injuries now going on during his development process, where he's just always in a bubble cast. Well, like he's just always hurt.
And to your point, Florida, one of 9 teams that will play 3 playoff teams this year. Shout out Brett McMurphy pointing out there are actually 2 teams that will play 4 playoff teams this year. One is Syracuse, which I hate for Fran Brown, and one is Mississippi State.
Yeah, and I don't like them getting looped in with us. Their schedule is not anything like our schedule.
No, they get Tennessee, Clemson, SMU, Notre Dame. You have Arizona State, Tennessee, Texas, and UGA.
One of their playoff teams is SMU. That shouldn't count.
Yeah,
that should not count at all. Ours are Arizona State, Tennessee, Texas, and now last year we had all 4. Mississippi State's 2024 schedule. We went 2-10. We were awful. It should be investigated. We had all 4 of those teams on the road. All of them. And we had Ole Miss, who was right outside the playoff, on the road.
So you get them all at home this year.
We get them all at home this year, but
hell of a home schedule.
And I do think we've got a lot better. That's why I think we could surprise one of them. We're not surprising Texas. They're too good. We're not surprising Georgia. They're too good. But we could surprise.
Tennessee or Arizona State could catch these hands.
I think so.
Big year in Starkville ahead.
We don't know. We don't know what Tennessee's quarterback situation is going to look like.
60 new players. I think we've got something. We might have. But time out.
Oh.
Hey, T-Bob.
Yeah, what's up? What you got?
I once again want to reiterate. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think we got something for Arizona State's ass.
I know you've been telling me. Don't say it publicly, though.
I'm not going to say it publicly, but maybe one day. We got a whole month before we start the. I might say it publicly.
Keep believing it.
Because they had 7 one-score games last year.
It was a lot.
Including to us. They beat us by 7 motherfucking points.
We're just kind of hand-waving away losing Scatterby.
The toughness of the team.
He was everything for them.
I ain't scared of the motherfuckers.
He was the Monster Energy Big 12 offensive MVP.
You think I'm scared of the motherfuckers? Mm-hmm. All right. Hey.
Hi. No, I agree with you, Brandon.
I agree with what?
Shit, they heard that?
I think you guys could beat Arizona State.
Lukey, take that at the pod. We can't have that out publicly.
I didn't say that. I don't know what you're talking about. I have my hands over my face.
I'm rooting for Mississippi State big time this year to bounce back, be a MAC team. Northern Illinois, you ain't got nothing.
Beat a MAC team or be a MAC team?
Beat a MAC team.
Beat a MAC team.
He was being ugly.
It's not lost on me that Toledo beat us by 30 last year, and then we fixed that by scheduling Northern Illinois. God damn it. We couldn't schedule Akron?
Yeah, the team that everybody talked about that was must-watch TV after they beat Notre Dame. Okay, last subject here. And we've done probably, 3 or 4 times, Brandon, in the lifetime of this podcast. We've done probably more than that. Our top 10, top 5 sports movies of all time. And I have always put Happy Gilmore on there. I think Happy Gilmore is the best Adam Sandler movie. I understand Big Daddy, Billy Madison, all that. Happy Gilmore to me is by far his best. Laugh my ass off every time. I've seen it probably 3,000 times. So this past weekend, Netflix drops Happy Gilmore 2. And I did not watch it until Sunday night. Had a little Sunday night movie date to watch it. And I have a take on it that you apparently don't like. And here's my thing. First of all, it's doing good numbers on Twitter because it's
killing it.
It's a fair take and it's a true take. I love Adam Sandler. I love Happy Gilmore. If anybody expects Adam Sandler movies in the big year of 2025 to be like it was in the 90s, first of all, that's just dumb. Like, he's not going to recreate what he did in the 90s. If you expect a comedy sequel that's going straight to Netflix to be as funny as one of the not just best sports movies of my lifetime, also one of the best comedies in my opinion. If you expected a sequel to match that, you're also a dumb person. I'm sorry, respectfully, you're a dumb person. There is no way that I sat down to watch Happy Gilmore 2 and expected to laugh like I did in the first one. I just wanted the nostalgia. I obviously wanted to see what he put together. And I thought, when I watched it, I laughed out loud a couple of times. I thought the cameos were incredible. I thought the actual real golfers were great. And we got to see the nostalgic throwbacks. I don't understand why people are acting like this movie was supposed to be the original. Like, it was fine for what it was supposed to be. I thought it was a good Adam Sandler comedy in 2025. What's wrong with that take?
Nothing's really wrong with it. People are just absolutely batshit insane when they come out and say, I loved Happy Gilmore, the original. This one, oh my God, what an abomination. Like, this one is very stupid and goofy and corny. What the fuck do you think the first one was? It was not trying to be an Oscar winner the first time around. It was a concept about a hockey player who turned into a professional golfer in 3 weeks and was wearing a hockey jersey, and his trainer got his hand bitten off by an alligator. Like this, it was never trying to be Oscar bait. It has always been stupid. Now, I will say this, Kayce.
Uh-oh.
I watched it, and as somebody who watched the first one, I thought, all right, that makes sense. This one was in the spirit of the other one. It was goofy. It was aiming for fun and stuff like that. There were some times I thought Will Zalatoris was awesome.
Yeah,
he was really good. I thought MJF and the kids, and then John Daly living at the house. I thought all that was funny. I thought the first hour of the movie was really good. Then the end, the last match just ruins the whole movie. I think it's just terribly stupid. But Happy Gilmore 1 was dramatically overrated by people like you. It's fine.
Don't
and it's
do
cute,
this.
but it's not some comedy classic, and I can't believe
No, it is a comedy
people
classic.
act like it's a comedy and sports movie classic. Like it was
is.
stupid, just
It
like this
is.
one's stupid.
No,
No,
but
no.
it's absolutely a pop culture classic.
It's a pop
It
culture
is.
classic because people are stupid.
No.
It doesn't matter what it's like. It's like 300. 300's did not
300's
review well.
awesome.
It did not review well. It's really fucking dumb.
It is dumb.
But it's awesome.
Yeah.
Kid-
And it's a classic. In that same way, Happy Gilmore is a
Gilmore.
classic.
Happy Gilmore's
There's
not
also,
even.
as we know, and as we've all experienced throughout our lives, it's when these movies come out. Like my 2.5-year-old son watched Michael Jordan's Space Jam from start to finish without moving off the couch the other night.
Yeah.
And it was the best feeling. We had Happy Meals and we watched Space Jam, okay? No, we'll never watch LeBron James Space Jam. Fuck that. But that feeling that I had as a kid watching my son watch it, that's like Happy Gilmore hit at such a, maybe you're too old, Brandon. I don't know. It hit at
Yeah, he's
such
too
a
old.
perfect
I
time.
was
He's way too old.
17 years
He's
old
way
when it
too
came
old.
out. I was the perfect age.
I was like 8 when
Cold
Happy
cut
Gilmore came out.
combo.
I was 17. It was perfect for me.
Funny. It's so funny.
Boomer.
And this movie, you know what this? So I
I'm just not
also
an Adam Sandler guy. I've never
and
found his
maybe-
movies
and
that
that's
funny.
fair.
Yeah.
The whole play on live golf obviously is cheesy. Obviously is over the top. You know,
That was
playing-
funny, I thought.
That like, but the end of it with the crazy match, that's all
Oh,
fine.
that was stupid, yeah.
Yes, but Adam Sandler has been making movies exactly like this for the last decade or so, and he just wants to get all of his buddies together. And the fact that it did get to call back to the original, I liked how many flashbacks they had. It wasn't just a sequel that lived on
They did
itself.
not leave a single joke on the vine. I mean, if they made a single joke in the first movie,
It's
they
coming back.
reference it in this one.
The grave site had all the dead, all the people from the first one. It's so over the top, and that to me, like when I see people like Dave being like, "It's a horrible movie. You don't have a brain if you think it's funny." What did you think it was going to be?
I think that about the first one. If you think that was funny, I'm just not sure about your brain.
Brandon, Happy Gilmore is a funny movie.
I watched
would
it.
put it up there with like The Hangover or Step Brothers or Wedding Crashers, because I think that those are like brilliant comedies of our time. Happy Gilmore is the funniest sports comedy in my lifetime. What else?
Well, yeah, it would be hard to, not a whole lot of sports comedies, first of all. So, yeah, it'd be hard to assail that point.
I don't know. I don't understand what people expected.
Oh, Major League, that's easy.
Oh, Major League.
What's the
yeah.
hockey one?
Slapshot.
Slapshot.
Yeah,
Slapshot's pretty good.
Slapshot. Yeah. So okay. Major League Slapshot.
Caddyshack wasn't my lifetime, but Caddyshack, I don't know. I feel like, and I think it was Captain Cons that tweeted, and it's true, like if you're playing golf or you're doing anything in golf these days, you are absolutely referencing at some point a Happy Gilmore line if you're in our age demographic. I don't know. I thought the movie was
Are you
fine.
too good for your home?
Yeah, it's so quotable. And so for people that are like all up in our, now also there's the people who said it's like one of the funniest movies ever. That's just not true either. But it's like, have expectations. It's 2025. Adam Sandler could be retired on a beach somewhere and he's giving us nostalgia. Okay.
I watched 1957's 12 Angry Men this weekend, and that
T-Bob's in a weird place where he's just watching every movie that's ever made, and there's no rhyme or reason to what he's watching.
Nope. I watched
why-
two movies this weekend. I watched 12 Angry Men from 1957, absolute timeless classic, and then I watched Before Sunrise, which I cannot wait to watch the next two movies tonight because Ethan Hawke, and I forget the actor's name, I apologize, but Linklater, that is a fucking top tier romance movie. Cannot recommend enough. Before Sunrise.
Did you not watch 12 Angry Men in high school?
I never watched in high school. No, it was my first
You had
time.
to watch that for school.
I've seen that as a popular response that a lot of people watch it through a school setting, and my school is lesser because I was not forced to because it's fucking incredible.
When you bring up a movie, why do you always lead with the year? It makes me seem like
Well, no, only because they made 1990. They made a remake in '97. So I just wanted to be
Okay.
clear about which 12 Angry Man I said.
Okay.
And also, like Brandon said, I'm in a very weird like old movie thing.
Yeah.
So I want to just let everybody know where it's coming from.
Okay, I might watch.
You could watch The Program. Have you seen The
I
Program?
might watch 2008 Step Brothers tonight.
It's a great movie.
You've never seen that?
No,
He's
I
seen it.
have.
He's
I
seen it.
love
Have you ever
Step
seen The
Brothers.
Program though? You can't be the number one ball watcher in the country and not seen The Program, Liam.
I don't know what the program. I've never.
Oh,
heard of
bro,
the
it's the
program.
best college football movie that's ever been made.
Oh, I just heard of it today.
There haven't been that many.
No, there haven't been that
Yeah.
many. But it's awesome.
Okay.
Gonna watch
I hate to do this. because I'm-
2017's Get Out.
Shut us
great
down,
movie.
Casey.
I'm about to piss my pants. I gotta
it's
start
show-
planning my
show's
day out
over.
My
better.
daughter's out there to meet Luke Combs.
Oh, well, that's important. Go.
Well, it's
We'll be
already
back
happened, but now
It's already
we gotta
happened.
leave.
Now she's just waiting on pops.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll be back on Friday. That's Unnecessary Roughness.